In this video, I'll be breaking down the entire Dallas Zoo, showing off every section, the animals that you'd meet, and I'll be personally rating each of these sections as a way to share my thoughts and criticisms and make sure that you don't miss out on any of the park's must-see attractions. The Dallas Zoo opened in 1888, making it the oldest and largest zoological park in Texas. Located 3 miles south from downtown and about an hour drive from the Fort Worth Zoo. Dallas's park is 106 acres and home to over 400 species from 2,000 animals that are spread out in 8 different zones. Unlike our last rating video, there will be 5 categories rather than 3. Entertainment and engagement for guest experience, immersion and theming, educational value, unique features, and most importantly, exhibit quality. Now the park is split down in the middle in 2 parts, kind of like Columbus, but each side is so different from one another, it's like visiting 2 completely separate zoos. We'll start in the Children's Zoo, which is about 1.5 acres of fun, not just for the kiddos, but for the whole family. It's really not your average children's zoo. I mean, it does have quite a few farm and domestic animals in there, but of course, you gotta have them. It also has a walk-through aviary, and I spent most of my time in the Underzone, a very old-style cabin, mostly dedicated to burrowing animals like snakes, mole rats, cockroaches, and some that live above the ground in the canopy like small monkeys. Overall, the quality is okay, but it'll keep you plenty entertained, and it's more educational than most children's zoos, so I would give this a 43 out of 50 rating. Right after this huge waterfowl pond are the Tamarin, Treetops, and Primate Place. There really isn't a whole lot to it in terms of exhibitry, but there's never a dull moment, especially when there's babies. On my visit, there were 6 primate species and a couple of clouded leopards, so that's a fun twist. It's pretty average, but still obviously worth a stop, but I'm going to give this row a 34 out of 50. The endangered tiger habitat in Otter Outpost is where I really felt my visit start to take a turn and started to see the zoo live up to its reputation. This short but sweet Southeast Asian themed complex invites you to look into the lives of cranes, Sumatran tigers, and of course can't miss small clawed otters. The tiger complex is 25 years old, but it still holds up, and you could convince me that it was entirely brand new. Even though the cats are viewable from several different spots, there's still enough for us to give them plenty of privacy, as proven by the fact that it took me a bunch of walkthroughs to get a better look at them. And I could really say the same things about the Otter Outpost. Now don't tell the others, but these are probably my favorite individual otters and even otter exhibit. Based on the strong educational focus and quality, I'll give this area a 44 out of 50 rating. Push your meetings back with the rest of the animals because you'll get lost in this collection of slime and scales. In the Herpetarium, after like the 5th hallway, I lost count after I reached like 110 species, including the Parenti and the Tuatara. The quality and sizes of the terrariums are consistent. It's been way too long since I've seen a cobra be able to stretch out this much. It's no museum of living art, but I still think it's a must-see animal attraction, and in my opinion earns a 47 out of 50. That brings us to the Dallas Zoo's South America section and the Wings of Wonder, which looks like it took a page out of the Primate Place's blueprint. It's just a row with mostly simple enclosures, but the species list is far more interesting if you ask me. There are Seriimas, king vultures, harpy eagles, Maguari storks, and even though I missed them, I haven't had a lot of opportunities to come across maned wolves. There really isn't much more to say about this area, so I'll just stop here and give it a rating of 35 out of 50. Okay, so apparently I missed something according to the map. I completely skipped out on Bugaboo, a tiny but what looks like a really significant invertebrate house and significant part of the zoo's collection. Around 50 species and under 1,000 square feet. but I swear this building was closed. If someone could please validate that so I can say that I didn't just skip over it, that would be great. Alright, so that was the Zoo North, and we'll be moving on to the other half of the zoo, which is made up of Wilds of Africa, Giants of the Savannah, and the Adventure Safari monorail, which permanently closed in 2020, losing arguably the zoo's best exhibits and some rare-ish animals. But there's still so much to see, I completely forgot that I even missed out on the monorail. The main entrance has a beautiful and spacious lemur island, and the main trail has everything. Penguins next to cheetahs, gorillas next to crocodiles next to chimpanzees, and okapis next to hippos. A lot of zoo signage can be easily overlooked, but these really got the message across that some endangered species cannot survive without a little help from us. Even though I knew during my hike that there was just one more part of the zoo that I needed to get to, I looped around over and over until my feet couldn't take it anymore. So this main trail deserves a raving rating of 49 out of 50. Through a process of elimination, that brings us to the Giants of the Savannah, a collection of some of Africa's most fierce, clever, large, and intelligent beings on the plains. When you're dealing with giants, you need the space, and Dallas gives more space to their elephants than a lot of other elephant exhibits I've seen combined. But that's not all. The day before my visit, I had the pleasure of coming across baby Travis at the Fort Worth Zoo, an Asian elephant, and the next day, I had no idea that I would end up seeing a baby African elephant in Dallas. Giants of the Savannah's cafe has you dining with the lions. Their close-up keeper presentation is probably the best I've ever seen, but it's mostly known for combining these two large savannas and letting the elephants mingle with their other savanna friends, making this apparently the first zoo in America to do this. Theming, education, quality, it's all top-notch and is without a doubt the best thing that Dallas has to offer, so Giants of the Savannah earns a perfect 50 out of 50 score. And that, my friends, will conclude another complete zoo breakdown. Now, don't worry, you won't have to wait a while to get more of the Dallas Zoo on this channel, because after this, I will be doing back-to-back features of the entire wilds of Africa. So please, stay tuned, stay wild, and thank you for watching Zoo Tours.